Today, we're talking about one of America's most popular lakes, Lake Lanier. But this isn't a story about summer vacations. No, this is about a community that was intentionally wiped off the map and then drowned. I mean, listen to that. That's not a line from a horror movie, it's a fact. Right now, underneath a lake buzzing with boats and swimmers, there's an entire town just sitting there in the cold, dark water. And the most chilling part is, it was put there on purpose. And get this number. Since the day this lake was created, more than 700 people have died in it. That number is so unusually high that a lot of people think the place is cursed. But trust me, the truth is way more disturbing than any ghost story. So let's start with what you can see. Let's look at the beautiful vacation spot that millions of people know and love, and then we'll get into the dark secret hiding right underneath. Every single year, millions of people head to Lake Lanier in Georgia. It's a huge hub for boating, fishing, swimming, the whole deal. On any given summer day, it looks like a postcard, just a perfect picture of American fun. But that perfect image completely shatters the second you look at the numbers. The death toll is just staggering compared to other lakes like it. And for decades, it's been the one question that haunts the area. What is going on at Lake Lanier? All these unexplained events are what feed the local legends. You hear these stories about experienced swimmers who just vanish. Rescue divers have reported really eerie things, like bumping into submerged buildings and even entire cemeteries with the headstones still standing. And whenever there's a drought, parts of that old world actually start to poke through the surface. But here's the thing. The real ghost of Lake Lanier isn't a spirit. It's the very real, very human history of a town that was violently buried. A town called Oscarville. You see, before this whole area was a lake bed, it was home to Oscarville, Georgia. Back at the turn of the 20th century, this was a prosperous, mainly Black community. Families were building generational wealth here. They owned land, they ran successful businesses. It was a place that was really going somewhere. And then, it was all destroyed. It started with an accusation. No trial, no evidence, nothing. Almost immediately, white lynch mobs swarmed Oscarville, burning homes and businesses straight to the ground. And then came the final, brutal ultimatum for every Black resident. Leave the county or be killed. Over 1,200 people were forced to flee for their lives. They had to leave behind their homes, their land, everything they had spent their lives building. In just a few weeks, the entire Black population of Forsyth County was just gone. It was a complete and brutal racial cleansing. For more than 40 years, that land just sat empty, a silent monument to the crime that happened there. But then a new plan came along, one that wouldn't just cover up the past, but would drown it completely. So in 1956, the U.S. government needed to build a reservoir to get water to Atlanta. And what do you know, the abandoned land of Oscarville was the perfect spot. They got it for next to nothing. I mean, after all, there was no one left to fight for it. The new lake was named after Sidney Lanier, a poet who also happened to be a Confederate soldier. 38,000 acres. That's how much land was swallowed by the water. And this wasn't just empty fields. This included the remains of homes, farms, roads, and yes, even cemeteries. The physical evidence of an entire community was submerged forever. And this brings us back to the real story. That so-called curse of Lake Lanier, it isn't supernatural at all. It's the legacy of the crime that this lake was built to hide. I mean, just look at the economic injustice here in these stark numbers. Land was taken from over 1,000 people for almost $0 in compensation. Today, that same land is the foundation for a billion-dollar industry. Lakefront homes sell for millions. The whole place is a massive economic engine, and it's all built on stolen wealth. After everyone was forced out, Forsyth County didn't just move on. For the next 75 years, it was what's known as a sundown town. Basically, it was an all-white area where Black people were forbidden to be after dark, and that rule was enforced through terror and violence. The threat was so real that Black Americans passed around a warning: avoid this county at all costs. Don't stop for gas, don't stop for food, don't even stop in the middle of the day. For decades, just being there could put your life in danger. So let's jump to the present day, because now this buried history is quite literally starting to come to the surface as the very structure built to hide it begins to fail. Now here's a pretty alarming fact for you. The infrastructure for this whole reservoir, it was only designed to last for about 50 years. It's now over 70 years old, and it's crumbling. Engineers have actually warned that the dam is at risk of a catastrophic failure, which could flood the city of Atlanta. So as the dam gets older and droughts get worse, the water level in Lake Lanier drops. And every time it drops, more of Oscarville is exposed. It's like the physical act of the water pulling back mirrors the historical truth finally coming to light. The cover-up is failing. Ultimately, the story of Oscarville and Lake Lanier really feels like a powerful metaphor for a much bigger American story. The point is, this isn't just an isolated incident. Our country has countless histories of erasure and injustice that have been paved over, built upon, and deliberately forgotten. And all of this leaves us with a final, pretty haunting question. Lake Lanier's secret is down there, 120 feet deep. But its story makes you wonder, what other histories, what other cities, what other crimes lie just beneath the surface of the world we see every single day?